Hey, YouTube. I've had a busy week. Fancy and I are here today to talk to you, and I'm only mentioning her name because I absolutely know she's going to make a appearance before this is over with. But today I want to show a bunch of clips from Alex Jones' show. I've told you that I watch him. They are clips from an interview that he did the other day with Laura Logan, who I have also mentioned. And I absolutely love her. She knows exactly what she's talking about. The interview is about the 59 refugees from Africa. Laura, as a matter of fact, was raised in Africa from this area, so she knows exactly what she's talking about. But I'm very upset with how people have reacted to them coming here. And I am sick to death of the hypocrisy. And I am sick to death of racism everything's blamed on racism. I mean, people, I don't know if they go off their gut reaction or what it is, but here, let's just get started. I'm starting off with one of the Africonians. I don't know what they call them. They have quite a little bit of a different name for them. Not Africans, whatever. Anyways, that's what I'm starting off with.
And at that point, my husband got up for the last time. And the one attacker said, just kill him, brother. And they shot him in the head, execution style, in front of us. And he literally fell at my feet on his face. The government dismisses it. The government denies that it's happening. Our own president came to New York in September, and he stated in an interview with Bloomberg,
there are no killings of farmers or white farmers in South Africa. There's no land grab in South Africa. We are involved in a process of discussing land reform.
Farm murders occurred between 2014 and 2024, averaging 63 per year, with 50 recorded in 2023 and 32 in 2024. AfriForum, a minority rights group, reported 49 farm murders in 2023, aligning with Tau SA's figures. Numbers are a small fraction of South Africa's 19,000 plus annual murders, illustrating that the land of Zeph is wrought with a variety of chaos.
Honestly, if you can't consider these people refugees, then I don't know what else you could consider them. I don't care if they're white, black, brown, orange, pink, or blue. They are being persecuted. And they're being vetted. And it's 59 people. We know their names. We know who they are. I mean, it's not like they're going to come over here and... For one thing, would you want to give up your farm? Just walk away from everything, basically the clothes on your back, to go to a different country when you obviously have had a pretty productive life. It's my understanding that these farmers are considered some of the wealthiest people in Africa. Would you walk away from that if you weren't being persecuted or feel that your life isn't in danger in some way? Now, my other point that I want to make about all those border jumpers, if their life was in danger and they felt like gosh, she's crazy, like their life was in danger, then they should have done it the same way. They should have done it the right way. You don't just jump the border. We had a bunch of criminals jump the border. Yes, there are good people too. And maybe they didn't think that they wanted to wait in line to get however long it takes, years, or have the money or whatever. But they still weren't vetted. We don't know who they are. We don't know their names. We don't know anything about them. So there's that. Okay, let's continue on with Laura.
I had many relatives in Zimbabwe when I was growing up. And of course, they had in Zimbabwe, they had a very, very bloody civil war between the two main tribes in Zimbabwe, right? First, there was a war against the British, of course, for independence, but there was a war that followed that between the Shona people and the Matabele people. And then, Zimbabwe, before that, when it was under the British, was known as the breadbasket of Africa. The farmland there is very, very rich. The farmers were very successful. But but what happened was when Robert Mugabe, the longtime leader of Zimbabwe, when he ran out of things to steal, he created these groups of army veterans. They called them veterans. Really, they were just violent mobs of enforcers. And what did they do? They went from farm to farm to farm without compensation, which is exactly what the South African government has now said that it's going to do. Being shot, the murders are very violent, and many people are being tortured. And for some reason, there are political forces today that just want to deny that white farmers are in trouble. And it's not just that they're being murdered, it's that there are so many racist laws on the books. And of course, now the South African government has said that they're going to expropriate the land, take the land back without any kind of compensation. Well, South Africa has 30,000 commercial farmers, roughly. You take those people out of production, and I can promise you we know exactly what's going to happen because we saw what happened in Zimbabwe, which is across the border. It is that people will starve. Zimbabwe had about 5,000 white commercial farmers when they went after the land. Okay, and inflation went to like 800, 900%, and most of the population descended into poverty. Okay, South Africa, think about it, 30,000 in comparison. I went as a journalist, and now you were not allowed to go in as journalists at that time. Mugabe was clamping down. So I flew to South Africa. I was living in London. I got a South African. I hired a guy from South Africa to be my, boyfriend, so we could be a multiracial couple. And I pretended that I was just a tourist. And I went from house to house to house. We were chased by the security police. It was a very dangerous time. And I can tell you what happened then, because I know I was there and I saw it firsthand. These groups of thugs went and stole the land. The first thing they would do was find the foreman at the farm, because the foreman was almost always black, and they would make the farm workers murder the foreman. So he would be tortured and he would be murdered. And then they would make them go to the neighboring farm and they would make them kill people there. And they would go from farm to farm to farm. It was one of the most brutal, cruel, vindictive campaigns
And
that I have ever
Mugabe
seen in my
backed
life.
it, but claimed he wasn't behind it, but would never prosecute. And now the ruling group in South Africa, I've seen the speeches they, openly on TV. They say, "Oh, good, it's good to kill the Afrikaners. It's good, kill them."
Yep.
And they say on the stage,
Kill
"We're
the
going to."
I just wanted to stop and mention, if you want to watch the whole show, I watch it on Rumble. He has several channels on there. He has a radio station, and I do know that he is on X. So it's quite lengthy. I did cut it up just to get the main points that I wanted to share with you. So definitely it's worth a watch. She goes into a lot more detail about different things.
So they boil people alive. They gang rape, women in their 80s. I mean, there is so much evidence of the atrocities that have been carried out. Kill the Boer.
Yeah.
That's the chant that you played. They go, kill the farmer, kill the Boer, kill the farmer, kill the Boer. And they chant like this. And I've been in those stadiums. Let me tell you, when they chant that, you feel the earth move, because there is an African dance, the toy toy, and they go, kill the farmer. And then they go, kill the Boer. And when they pound the earth like that, it is unbelievable. And I say this to you because if you're a young person in South Africa, or you're a person who's lived in poverty and you have nothing, they are playing on your emotions. Okay, they're trying to drum up this emotion, which makes people go out and do things. They don't just go and steal the farm. They don't just go and steal the gun or ask for money. That's when they go and they really carry out extreme violence. You want to know where the Open Society, George Soros's Open Society, has one of its oldest offices in the world?
Right there
Johannesburg,
in South Africa. It's on record that they're down there stirring this up.
Who would have thunk it? The deep state gets even deeper. But as she goes along here, it's going to paint a little bit of a picture for you. A little bit of globalists, those people. Yeah, it's going to paint a little bit of a picture for you.
And you know what? You know who Obama's, you know who his ambassador to South Africa was? a man called Patrice Gaspard, who came from Haiti. And when Patrice Gaspard was recalled at the end of the Obama administration, you know where Obama put him? As the president of the Open Society Foundations. And he was there in charge of that operation until Lord Malik Brown from Smartmatic, George Soros's other pal, helped him steal the 2020 election. And for his reward, he came and replaced Patrice Gaspard as president of the Open Society Foundations. And anybody can go and look that up. It's not a secret. Is tied to the fate of the United States, just like Europe and so on. Because these forces that are creating this division in South Africa, it's very easy to incite people with emotional chants when you're creating a boogeyman, right, for somebody to hate. And what you hear now in South Africa, you hear about DEI, and you hear about, you know, slavery and oppression and all the rest of it. You hear all the language, the same language that is repeated, you know, the language of George Floyd. That is the language of the Open Society and people in South Africa. So if it's not defeated in the United States of America, if Donald Trump and his administration do not hold people accountable here, they will continue to do this all over the world. They will keep murdering white South Africans until there are none left.
Got Democrats saying they're going to come after these poor farmers that are coming here. So it's all the same propaganda. It's the same operation. You're 100% right. What else?
Same people, same objectives. Now, the point that people will make is that the violence in South Africa is unbelievable and that many people suffer from this. It's not just white farmers. And that is true. There is an unacceptable level of violence across South Africa. But the forces that want to deny that there is, you know, legitimate political asylum for people who are being targeted because of their race, these people say, you know, they don't care. You can come into this country if you're LGBT, right? If you claim to be transgender.
So if the Afrikaners don't actually like the land, they can leave that country.
They are. They're leaving to come here.
No. They can
These
leave
refugees
and go,
are coming here.
They can actually leave and go to where their native land is, which is probably Germany.
So the Trump administration, they're saying that essentially these white South Africans assimilate better and they're also not as much of a security risk. That's really causing a lot of people to be appalled.
Again, with the security risk, it's like these people have been vetted. There's a big difference.
And what that means for the black folks and the black farmers.
But Don, this is a slap in the face to America's black farmers right now.
And particularly this. Why is this a slap in the face to black farmers? You know, they're going to come over here. They're probably never going to get to farm again. What does it have to do with the black farmer? Please help me make that connection. You know, just keep farming and mind your own business. I'm pretty sure that they're not going to have anything to do with your farm.
Sore eyes.
Good morning. This is for the South Africans who are going to be entering the United States. Our president, he has Secret Service, and you will not.
This is what I call an eye roll, because why is she so triggered by this? Why? And what does this next one mean? I don't even get this.
What's going to happen is that these people will start getting their ass whooped because they think it's okay to talk to us any old kind of way like they did out there in South Africa.
What did he just say? He thinks that they're going to come over here and act privileged and talk down to black people? I don't get that. Makes absolutely no sense to me. None sense at all. Where did he get that idea? Please, somebody help me understand what is happening. Now think about this for a minute. The white people, the white farmers, the wealthiest of them, is my understanding, are only like 20% of the population. The wealthiest are being, how do you call it? Do I want to say discriminated against because they are the wealthiest and they're the minority? Whereas in our country, the whites are the majority, and I don't want to say the richest, but the majority of the population, and the black people feel the most oppressed. I find that a little intriguing because it doesn't matter if you're rich or you're the minority or the majority. If you're infiltrated by, let's just say, globalists or an unknown force that can brainwash you, it could go either way. Any way that they propagandize you. See what I'm saying? And in this country, it makes me mad that the left is angry about these 59 people because they're mad because they're white. Excuse me? Isn't that racism? And they want to protect criminals. I mean, the gang members and the criminals that have come here from these other countries, they're protecting them over people that are being attacked by their own government. Not military, but as far as Laura says, they've created groups of people, bad people, to go out and do what they want. You know, just to get the result that they want, to get rid of these people. I don't want to call them gang members, but terrorist groups. You know, like I said, would you want to come here and give up your farm? I've seen pictures of these farms and they're big, they're beautiful. It's some of the most rich farmland in that country. To give up everything and just to come here to 59. I mean, do you see the little kids in the pictures? Did you see the little kids? I'm sure this wasn't their wish, and it makes me sad that they have to run from their own country. Bottom line, the way I see it, these people are being persecuted. They asked to come here. They've been vetted. Trump said yes because they've been vetted and they seem safe, versus the jumpers of the border for 4 years that have not been vetted, that were let out of jails, that have killed people, that have killed many people, dealing drugs, all kinds of criminal activity. And the liberals in this country are angry because these vetted white Africanians are 59 and safe, and they're mad because they're what? White? Please leave me a comment about this because I'm very confused about this. Fancy, say goodbye to the people until we see them next week. Anyhow, that's what I think. See you soon. And Alex, I apologize. I absolutely did not try to butcher this.